Welcome in, everybody, to the Challenge After Show, episode 9. You're the best around. That's the name of the episode, ladies, and I sang it for you.
Get you down.
You're the
Nice.
best.
I love that you know the names of the episodes because I've never once looked at the name or have known one single name of any of these episodes.
And Jenna, I probably wouldn't either, but since I know I'm going to introduce every after show, I just make sure I look at it real quick before. Ladies, I got to ask you a question here. Was I right or was I wrong about the Darrell thing being fake news?
You were so right. And watching tonight's episode, it's funny you say that because that was going to be my very first take or part of my overall thoughts was like, boy, how wrong was I with the whole Darrell situation that I drank the Kool-Aid so quick. I was so convinced that he was a goner based off the cliffhanger, and it couldn't have been any more like anticlimactic. It lasted 1 single second. He threw up, he got up, he kept walking. And I was like, wow, I really thought he was going to quit for a second. They really actually had me.
Yeah,
good though, Jenna. That's a good thing. He finally got us. I love it.
My first note is, well, Darrell got over that thing real quick. Yeah, which I was thrilled about. And I'd also love to give a shout out to me for it was like someone gave my, you know how we all had our bodily analogies of what it was like. I think it was Kellyanne or maybe Jem that was like, it's like period cramps. It hurts and then you get over it. Like, let's go. And that's what I said. It's like
I thought of our after show immediately when Kellyanne said that. I said Pam and Jenna were right on it. They nailed what it must have felt like.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they did such a great job of ending the episode. Even I was like, oh my God. Then I was like, I bet he's fine. But it was still a great way to end the part one. It was fun. It was good.
Yes, but I still can't get over how short it was. I still cannot get over. He went from, I need a medic to, okay, let's just keep trotting along like nothing ever happened.
They needed to split up the episode somehow. And that to them seemed like the best alternative. So that's what they went with to cut it.
It was good. I was scared at the end of last week's episode for sure. And again,
not congratulating ourselves. Shout out to me for being a huge sucker and keep it lasting as long as it does because I'm the audience member that's still naive to everything. So
no, it's good. And they did a convincing job for him to be like, I need a medic. But I did think like, you know, a cramp is a contraction. So it's like, and then it releases. So it's not like that level of pain stays consistent. And she's like, you don't need it. You don't need a medic. So I liked Kellyanne talking him down.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by everybody's ability to keep going throughout this entire final, not even just during this run, but when we get to the food element, I mean, everybody continued through all the battles. So I was surprised. I mean, this is all-stars, right? Everybody's supposed to be the best of the best. You're supposed to be able to power through, but I still was a little bit surprised at everybody's like steadfastness to get through this final, even though they went through a lot of shit that they wanted to quit.
Right. Yeah. And we'll get to Jemmy and Easy next coming up for that food challenge because it did seem like they weren't going to finish that. I don't know if that was editing or what it was, but I thought for sure, I even wrote it down. I was like, oh, Jemmy's giving up, but she pulled through. So I had to cross out that line that I put because she came through with it. So this next part, before we get to that night challenge though, of the eating and then the standing around all night, it's a lot of walking. I noticed there's a lot of walking. Did you ladies notice this? It's probably going to be just me and that's fine. They were showing close-ups of like Anissa's ass and then Yes's ass. As they were walking, they just slowly would zoom the camera in on their names that were on their ass. And I was like, why are they? It was just fun. It just made me laugh. And I was like, okay, that's a lot of close-ups of asses that I didn't necessarily need to see, but I just thought it was funny. I don't know if you girls remember it.
Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go was the song that was on.
So you remember the song more than I remember the ass showing.
Because I remember, so as soon as you said they were showing a lot of asses, at first I thought, what the hell is Dan talking about? It went completely over my head. But now that you say it, I can remember the asses connected to the song. So as soon as you say it, I now in my head do have a montage of Anissa, her name written on her booty shorts. Like if you go to the Jersey Shore boardwalk, it'll be like his girl or like Jersey girl on the ass cheeks. Of
Lil baby, right? L-I-L. Lil baby.
Like Miss Italiano.
Exactly.
Like, Sam knows it all too well. We're all
Right.
both
Queen. Yeah.
But that, now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, you're right. And that's a song that was playing. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go.
I do remember the asses. It didn't register with me as a big thing. It was just, I just took it as like a back point of view, like a, they're walking point of view. But yes, now that you bring it up, there was a lot of ass shots.
So, ladies, even though Darrell almost died, he finished first with Kellyanne. How convenient was that as well? Yes, and Anissa. I'm sorry, go on.
No, I was just pumped. I was so excited. I wanted them to come in first. That was like my big couple. I was so looking forward to them being partners.
And speaking of booties, Yes and Anissa came in second. Easy and John A, Alton and Ruthie, and then Mark and Jemmy came in last for that round. And that brings us into a night challenge, which involves food and then standing on some type of balance beam, which was interesting. What I was hoping, though, ladies, was whoever finished the food first, because they've done this in other seasons, would get a better betting situation. Have it go from like best to worst. I thought that could have been something. The producers kind of missed the boat on that. I thought that could have been something really fun for them to do. But yes.
I agree with that. They could have either gotten points or time added to the person they're choosing or something. But yeah,
that would be fun. I mean, the fact that whoever finished eating first got the most point, like that was still a point ranking system. So I think like I was fine with it, but that's a really good point. If they'd done that, it definitely would have been a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
We have to give a shout out to Anissa though for keeping pace with Yes, and she was able to stay with her partner during that whole walking after the Reapers. So good for her.
Yeah.
And that eating was brutal. Poor Jemmy's face. And then some of them I didn't notice until, because I sort of watched it quickly once last week while doing other things. And then I watched it again just before now. And it was like 3 hours gone by and they were still eating. The people, I was like, oh my God, they're really trying.
Like
that's
a lot of those, most of the girls, I mean, just think about it. That's a lot of meat to be putting into your body. They even mentioned like, I think Yes said like, I can't imagine if I was one of these poor ladies trying to put that much food into my body when your stomach isn't meant to eat that much meat like that. It was a lot. It almost looked like too much.
Yeah.
I think he was talking specifically about Ruthie because she is small, but funny enough, Ruthie said that she recognized almost all of the meat that was on her plate. She only didn't recognize one item. Because she's used to eating stuff like that, or used to, having interesting meat. So that I was like, wow, Ruthie, and you got interesting meats.
Which is a huge benefit. Yeah, she said growing up in a Filipino household, there's only one thing on this which is huge because I feel like I wouldn't want to know, but it's also scarier to imagine what you're eating. I think Alton had the good strategies. Like I smell the charcoal, it's delicious, just pretending it's barbecue.
Yeah, I wrote down that Darrell and Alton were absolutely hilarious during their commentary, and the things they were saying behind the scenes and then obviously on camera was so funny throughout this whole thing. The entertainment value during the food thing, because sometimes on the food thing you just see him throwing up over time. I know, Jenny, you don't like that when you see Corey just constantly throwing up.
I don't really care about the throw up.
You're not.
I'm the one.
I thought one hated the throw up aspect of it, but they added so much comedy to the amount of throw up. It was like the perfect combo for me. So
well, I don't want to jump to conclusions, and now I'm going to sound like a Johnny Bananas soundbite when he says, "This is the craziest thing to ever happen in challenge history. This is the biggest twist ever." I do feel like this has to be one of the worst eating competitions that we've ever had to watch. Like this went for over 3 hours. This was a full plate it was a big ass plate of seafood. It is funny that they gave them like a fork and knife to kind of eat like civilized humans, where they're eating the most uncivilized meat that you could ever imagine.